Hey guys, welcome back to RAC, where we talk all things audio production and sound. So if you want to know what sidechaining is, there's a whole video on that linked below. However, today we are doing a demo of 3 different ways you can use sidechain in your mix to get clarity. I'm Dariana Everett, a singer-songwriter producer and RAC grad. Okay, let's dive into this demo. This is my song, Do You Love Me? It was a songwriting exercise I did a number of years ago where I wrote a song in 10 minutes, and it was just the first thing that popped into my head. I had a few chord progressions and I wanted to keep the original take, so that's what that is. It was just my demo take, but there's a vibe to it, so I'm just keeping it. It's not perfect. Whatever. We're just gonna dive in to the kicks. So right now we have kick 1, kick 2, low tom, and then a bunch of different percussive elements that I played and looped and went around, right? And then we have 3 different basses. No mix on this session going on. It's kind of just all slight placement, and we have some, I think I have EQ on a few tracks, and I'm just set up the sends to do the sidechain for you, right? So let's take a listen to the song. We get the picture. Lots of fun. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is set up a key. So this is basically a send. I have it sent. It is called key kick. I choose a bus. So basically you create a send, and then you, let's say we're doing a new one. I'm not going to do it, but let's just say for these purposes, we're going here, and I'm doing a stereo, but technically it should just be a single. Rename, and then I would call it key fake because I'm going to delete it. But yeah, so then basically this would be the information that you send, and make sure you put it onto nominal. So on Mac you can push Option and then hit the fader and it'll go to nominal or 0. But yeah, so we're not using that one. We already have the key set up, the kick key. Woohoo! So then I put this on all of the low information. This is, a lot of people are like, why would you do that? For me, for the purpose of this, I want clarity, right? And these basses, we have 3 different basses going on. So let's take a listen to these basses we have. I have 3 different parts. So I have one called an articulated bass. I have one that's just a regular bass. I have one that is doing kind of a counter melody, right? So if we're articulated, fun. Then regular, that's kind of like a subby 808 vibe. And this one that has crunch. A lot of distortion, fun. They are all supposed to be placed a little bit differently. Anyway, yeah, so those are our basses. That's what we're working with. And then the kicks, we have a few different kick situations going on. I will just get you there. Boop, boop, boop. So this is all of that information that we're going to need. So this is a drum loop and multiple different kicks. So we do hear some perky elements that are a little bit brighter. I also put the kick key on a few different elements in the percussion because the articulation, especially on the articulated bass, is important to not get cluttered. So it'll kind of pull that out because I really want the perks to come through, right? Let's listen. So that's what's happening in the percussion and the drum land. And then we have in the basses, let's take a listen. Anyway, so I then have 2 options for this sidechain, right? So let's first go with a basic compressor. This is Pro Tools basic compression we have going on. On a compressor, you will have a key. And this is why we call it a key, because it is the link to the sidechain. So you want to select which bus it is. Me, I'm doing key left. Awesome. I'm going to activate the sidechain with this little key, otherwise I won't be doing that. And now, whenever the incoming signal of the kick will come in, we will have that gain reduction. So it'll scoop the bass out of the way already we're getting a bit more space. All right, guys, if you haven't done it, remove YouTube's audio stabilization. It ruins everything. So let's listen to that again. Without interference. With it. It starts to groove a little bit. So you want to play with the attack and the release. For me, I wanted it out of the way right away because I want the transient of the kick to come through, right? So I'm squashing the bass right away. Some people, depending on the song, you want to move it around, right? Next up, we are going to try it with Soothe. I love Soothe. Soothe, I have to say, is like my favorite thing ever. I'm yelling into the microphone because I'm hearing very loudly. Sorry for your ears. Yeah, so Soothe, same thing. Where the key is, you input your information of a key. I am doing the kick key left, right? And so I have this activated. Make sure you activate your sidechain, otherwise it'll be doing nada, right? I have 2 bands in the low end. This is kind of giving me that extra little bit of control, which is nice. Without it, right? I don't want to say horrible, but like much better that way. And then with both of them, we're actually starting to hear the little bit of the articulation on the like kind of stereo field, which is fun. All right, so that to me sounds much better. So just so we can get it very super clear, let's listen to it in the mix, with and without it. Without. So long. Okay. With. So much better, right? So those are 2 different. One, Soothe is more of a ducking tool, a little bit like a dynamic EQ, multi-band compressor. We're using that. And then a basic, good old stock plug-in compressor. We love that. All right, so thing 2, second way, is when there's masking going on, just getting like clobbered by 2 different instruments, and there's just like, it's just making a hullabaloo of a lot of mess. So we have here a bass. Here, one of the 3 basses, I found the crunchy one was interfering with my piano, right? So let's take a listen to these 2 together. You know, there's just like parts of it, especially like this one, we're getting, you know, it's just like I find they are masking. So what I did, I created a key. Same thing. Create your key. Not difficult. You then name your key. You make sure it's put to nominal so you're getting the information. So there's my key, bass key. Nice, nice, nice. And then I am putting a multiband. This one's called multiband dynamics. Fantastic. So I input in the key information here. I put my bass key, right? And so then what I did is I made sure to activate the sidechain. I didn't need it in the high end too much. It was more in the low mid. I didn't even need to do this one. I did it just because sometimes the harmonics might be a little bit crunchy. So anyway, I activated my sidechain on all of them. And now let's take a cute little listen without it. There we go. Right? Not cute. It's subtle, but the difference is that we hear the piano better. It's sitting nice, and it almost feels like it's like that one especially. If we're listening, let's just zoom into this dude. And then let's try it with that. We're hearing the piano more. Again, YouTube, audio stabilization. Take that off. All right. Right? They're just competing. Ugh. Right? it's just that little bit. It's not that much, but it's enough that it makes a huge impact.
For some time. Do you love me? Can you love
We're
me?
losing the piano. Where is it?
For some time.
But then
Do you love me? Can you love me? 'Cause I've been waiting on you for some time.
it's just sitting better. Okay, so that one is a bit more subtle, but with good headphones, you'd be able to hear it. The third way to get clarity through sidechaining is a common situation where we have our vocal and we want to put a little bit of reverb. We don't want it super dry. We want to not quite drench it in reverb, but we want it to sound like it's taking up a bit of space. There's a nice tail end reverb, as we call it. So let's take a listen to the song.
Felt so alone, so alone. I can't let myself out.
Okay, so you can hear that this voice is getting like thrown into some reverbs, right? So if we're doing this one,
I felt
I just
so alone,
love,
so alone. I can't
I
help
love
myself
space.
out.
Space, this is one of my favorite reverbs. And specifically in space, post-production, Forest 1 and 3. Love it. And often what I'll do is I'll then go to the reverb. I'll then put the reverse up. We can do that. That sounds fun too.
I felt
So when you play
so
with it,
alone, so alone.
it sounds really cool. Actually,
I
let's just do
can't.
that for that. It's fun. And then we're going to add a bit of width because that's the whole point of why I would be adding reverb, is because I want that width to it, right?
I felt so alone, so alone. I can't help myself. I felt so alone, so alone.
It just adds almost like a cute little echoey delay. So we have the first reverb and the second. So I tend to play around with reverb and textures and then I'll automate both. But for the purpose of this, we're just going to throw both reverbs on it. So if we're listening to That Was Space, all right, and then the other one, this one is the Valhalla Supermassive free plugin we talked about in our free plugin video. Watch it. It's fun. We have a few of them. It's the one with the first free plugins I did. This one's called Forward Reverb. I think it sounds really, really fun. It just gives that little bit of space, that little bit of shimmer that we want. So both of them together.
I felt so alone, so alone. I can't help myself.
Which sounds cool, but with the song,
So alone.
it's just like losing all the front juiciness of my main vocal take. So we are going to come back with this cute little stock plugin. Again, step 1, create your key. So create a send, name it whatever you want. I have it called main vox key. Do that, and then you input in the little key sign, main vox key. Make sure to activate your sidechain. Then once that's on, bada bing, bada boom, we have liftoff.
I felt so alone, so alone. I can't help myself. I felt so alone, so alone.
As you can tell, I don't have I have a decently high ratio, but not that high. I'm not like, it's not an on-off thing. I have a knee. I have the first bit. I'm not totally squashing it with the attack. I have a long release on that one. This release is a little bit shorter. The ratio is also a bit shorter, just based off of my ear and what I liked. That's what we were going with. But if we're taking a listen,
I felt so alone.
You know what, this one, I feel like
I can't help myself. I feel so alone, so alone. I can't help myself. I feel so
good.
alone.
Okay, I like that. That sounds good to me. And then with the song, let's take a listen.
I feel so alone, so alone. I can't help myself. I feel so alone, so alone. I can't help myself. I feel so alone, so alone.
right, guys. So those are 3 different ways to get clarity with sidechain. I think it turned out rather fun. Again, you can use dynamic EQs. It's not just compression, multiband compressors as well, obviously, but it's the idea of sending signal. And if you have masking, do that. If you have any sort of competing sounds, you can do that. And remember, this is just part of the process. After that, you do automation. So with those reverbs, I would then play it on a fader. I'd map it to here, play it on a little fader, make sure I am playing and throwing the reverb when I want it to hit. That's the whole fun. It's painting with sound. Sidechain is part of that process, so you can have more hands basically to do everything you need to do. So it basically automates it for you. Again, this is my song. It's not released. It's obviously needs to be mixed. But yeah, if you guys like seeing me with my cute little glasses and working on sessions, I do live streams on my channel and over on my Instagram. So go check that out. And yeah. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you found this helpful. Sidechain is such a useful tool, especially for getting clarity and allowing space for all the sounds to be heard. First step, though, I would highly suggest watching the video on speakers and on low-end management. If you are struggling with clarity in your mixes, both of those will help you have the understanding as to why we use these types of tools like Sidechain, as well as some other tips for managing your low end, which actually works because speakers work in a specific way. So if you understand speakers, then you can understand your low end, then you can understand clarity in your mixes and making sure you're getting all that sounding good. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you like this video, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. We come out with new content every week. If you guys like watching me work on sessions, you can follow me over on my personal YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, which is just my name, Diana Everett. Also, please let me know if you like this video, why, if there are things you think I can improve on, if you guys want specific videos. As I said, we're doing a bunch of different demos. Be sure to comment them down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.